What's going on, guys? Welcome back to CryptoWealthy channel. In today's Sunday's episode, we're going to be doing technical analysis on the Bitcoin. I want to mention what kind of a trade can you make over here if you are a little bit experienced, of course. If not, we're going to mention few types of trades that could be made over here. And also, we're going to be discussing about the Vechain, Chainlink, what kind of formations are they forming right now, including Bitcoin, of course, and where could we expect the price movement up or the down in the next week, 2 or so. And now, let's begin. So first thing first, on the chart, we need to start with the high time frame, and over here this is the weekly chart of the Bitcoin. So if you're new here, if you are doing technical analysis for the first time or very brand new, let's say like that, you need to check out the weekly chart first, or at least monthly chart. So higher time frames are the most important ones, because if you are in doubt, zoom out. You need to see what is going on the bigger picture and not on the smaller time frames first, because there is a big probability that you could miss some things if you are trading and of course have a problems in that trade. So always look where the trend is right now. And as we can see over here on the weekly chart for the Bitcoin, we are in the uptrend. We are still in this consolidation phase over here, in this consolidation, or let's say continuation pattern of the tunnel over here, and also we are above 20 weekly exponential moving average, which is pretty good. It's setting us pretty good for the upside. Also, we can see that the all moving averages are lined up for the bullish move, and so far so good. Another thing that we need to mention is that we are seeing some sort of a weakness in the trend, and what I mean by this, as you can see, the half of this tunnel over here cannot be broken over, so we can see some sort of a retest on this resistance over here, which pretty much set us over here on the weakness in the trend. So as long as we're consolidating around 20 EMA, we still have a chance to break below it. It doesn't mean that we will stay below it, but it does mean that the bulls are not fully in control of this rally. Now also the thing that we need to mention is the RSI, which was almost overbought when we jumped over a little bit from this tunnel over here, and since then we are chilling in the area above level of 50, which is of course good and bullish. As long as we are above level of 50 and below level of 70, it gives us pretty good space actually to rally to the upside. So now I think we know where we are. That's why we can actually switch to the daily chart and see what is going on over here. So as we can see, the same thing is happening over here. We are still in this tunnel, and we need to mention the consolidation phase that we have over here, or let's say pennant, that should, I think, shoot us to the upside. The only confusing thing over here that is happening is because we are constantly chopping this 20 EMA, which we still don't know where we're going to shoot on, upside or to the downside, because as you can see over here, we broke few times and the bears didn't let us go to the upside. So very soon, I think already until the end of this week, if we start consolidating still in this pattern over here, we're going to for sure see some movement to the upside or to the downside. We are going to see where are we going to shoot, but for now I truly believe that we may actually shoot to the upside. I just have that gut feeling, and I think I saw this pattern way too many times on these certain levels, on this certain way. So I do truly believe more percentage I give to the bulls in this case scenario, but I do believe that they are weaker than they were in the previous months or so. Now another thing that I want to point actually that we may shoot to the upside is because of the volume. We can bring volume over here, but also I recognize the volume when you see the candles of the chart also. As you can see on the volume, we are dropping constantly over here, and candles itself over here in this pattern are very small. We don't see any sort of a volatility, two big candles non-stop, which basically give us, you know, big wicks, small bodies, and not way too much movement over here. The market is too boring right now. I know you're feeling also that. So whenever we are seeing very small consolidation candles, let's say like that, in the same way, the big move is going to happen. The same thing we can compare on the weekly chart, and I think weekly chart is more of a value than daily chart when it comes to such a things. As you can see over here, whenever we had small candles movement over here, we had a big way to the upside. always, as you can see over here, also the same thing happened, shoot to the upside. Also over here, 3 consecutive small candles, then shoot to the upside. Also over here, if we switch when we drop from $6,000 in the bear market of 2018, small candles, pretty much boring time. This was the most boring time of all time in the Bitcoin. Then you had a big move to the downside. So whenever you have small candles over here, the big thing is expected. And as we can see over here, we are still forming that formation over here. We may consolidate one more week before we see such a move, but we'll see when the Bitcoin will decide to actually do such a thing, because we are still above 20 EMA. We are still into this tunnel. We still have perfectly good chance for the upside, and this is the reason why I'm giving the Bitcoin chance to shoot to the upside after this consolidation phase is done, and not to the downside, because we still didn't change the trend on the weekly chart. As the daily chart concerned, we can see that that thing may actually change for temporarily, but that doesn't mean that we reversed the trend. There is a big difference in reversal patterns. You can actually change trend, but that doesn't mean it's reversed. So that we need to understand very clearly. So we can change the trend, at least stop it, but it doesn't mean that we are reversing, and still I'm not giving this opportunity to the bears. Bulls are not still yet in the full control, but they still got a control. We need to mention that. So when it comes to the trading over here, you have for sure few things that you can do. It depends what kind of a trader you are. And one of the entry point could be above 20 EMA, could be above this consolidation pattern over here. If you are like to be more conservative and sure, if you don't want to take so many risks, or even you can actually enter here, and your stop loss could be adjusted a little bit above. I think this is some sort of a 2% or something if we put the one long position over here. If you enter over here, for example, then the stop loss could be 1.61%, which is pretty good risk reward ratio. So if the Bitcoin breaks to the upside, you can just pull this to the upside. What is going on? Okay, and you will have 12% or something, depends where you want to get out, for just 1 to 2% in the stop loss, or you can even extend it a little bit more, and you will have conservative 2 to 2.5%, depends how you want to trade this. You can also trade this above this pennant over here, and you can trade also above 20 EMA, which is also going to be extra boost to the price once it's get above over here to break the next resistance of this pennant. So depends how you want to trade this. Do not copy me, do not copy other YouTubers. You need to have your own strategy, and you need to have your own way how are you trading things in order to be profitable over here. Now the chart that I want to mention over here is the link. It's still in this falling wedge formation, and it seems like that we are going to see breakout very soon. The same thing happening over here. The volume is drastically dropping over here. Look the previous week or so. Insane drastic drop in volume, and also look the candles, they are literally not moving over here, which basically means that we are going to see some sort of a try at least to break this level of resistance together with the 20 EMA. Now the important thing that I want to mention over here is that we have one low over here and we have higher low, which is also one of the good sign for the reversal pattern over here. A link dropped pretty heavily, and this was one sort of a bear market for the link in the previous, let's count that as a little bit 50 days or so. So I would count this as a one good bear market over here. But if link managed to break this level of resistance over here, find level of support on it, then shoot to the upside again, because this is falling wedge formation and one of the bullish signs for the link. If we don't go below 8.7, which is pretty much this low of this candle over here, and this is the reason why I think that the bulls are trying to hold this area over here and break level of resistance. Make sure to observe in the next 3 to 4 days what will happen with the link, because we are very and extremely close to this resistance. Also, we need to mention that the RSI is pretty much oversold over here, and below level of 50 over here we still don't have so much strength with the bulls. We need to see shoot back in the price to the upside over here in order to also break this resistance. So make sure to observe link if you're investor or trader or whatever over here in the next 2 to 3 days. We need to see what is going to happen. For the Vechain is the almost similar story, but unfortunately Vechain is not forming any sort of a reversal signal or pattern or whatever, or sign, whatever you want to call it, because 3 to 4 days we did a video for the Vechain over here, and we were, I think, over here, you know, testing this level of resistance, and as we can see we failed to break it. And now as I told you, I actually told you in that video that we are going to visit this zone over here again, and here we are, guys, 0.011. Just go back on that video, you will see what I said. Actually, we are going to visit this area one more time if Link doesn't manage to actually push through this resistance. And look what happened. You know, you have decline from this level of resistance, and then you have push to the downside. Also on the upside over here you have some sort of a decline over here, and then a drop in the price. Again over here the same thing happened. You know, that resistance killed the Vechain price from the upside, and it did now, you know, 3 to 4 days ago. So we are going to see if the Vechain can actually form some sort of a reversal pattern, candle, whatever that can gives us a clue, you know, to see, okay, we're reversing now, we need to check this and this and this. If that happens, like we said in the link over here, we can count this and argue as a, I don't know, high or low, but it's still not sure. We need to see bounce from these levels where we are right now, as you can see. So if we bounce over here, then we can say, okay, we may actually reverse, but we are still in this big pattern. So we need to go above this area in order to see reversal signal. And as always, we're going to check S&P 500 just because it's correlated with the Bitcoin. It seems like that the S&P 500 got below level of 20 EMA over here, and it seems like we are not getting above it. So tomorrow is the Monday. We're going to see how this is going to play out. If the S&P 500 find level of support on the 20 EMA tomorrow or the day after and shoot right back to the upside, we're going to see how the Bitcoin will react, because in the previous video where we discussed about technical analysis, we saw that in the previous 7 to 8 days S&P 500 rallied to the upside from this falling wedge formation, while on the Bitcoin side we could see non-correlated movements over here in this pattern. So by the clue of correlation between Bitcoin and the S&P 500, we should have seen some sort of a rally to the upside in the Bitcoin price, but we didn't see such a move. So we're going to see how Bitcoin will react on the S&P 500 movement in the next few days. You know, depends where the S&P will move. So if nothing special happens in the next 20 hours or so in tomorrow's video, we're going to do crypto news to see what is going on from fundamental side on the crypto space. With all that said, hit that like, subscribe button if you like this sort of a content. I want to thank each last one of you for watching our videos. And until the next episode, happy trading and goodbye.